Hey guys, welcome back to With Zayn podcast episode 2. So it's been a while since I recorded the last episode, which was the first one for this podcast series. I just haven't felt inspired, and then I did record episode 2, I think last week, and then I just wasn't satisfied with the recording because I don't know, my mood was off, and I don't think I did such a good job. I kind of want the people listening to these podcast episodes to feel entertained, curious, interested, amused, instead of feeling bored. So, before we proceed, before we go any further, I just want to clarify that I don't script these episodes, okay? It's not scripted, it's just impromptu speaking. I do this out of love, not out of necessity. I just enjoy talking about things sometimes. And then I think there's some people out there who kind of enjoy listening to other people talking about stuff. These episodes are not gonna be very long, by the way, because I think you should consume things in moderation, and any kind of media should be consumed in moderation. I want to talk. I thought I might talk about addiction today. Yeah, that sounds like an interesting thing. Addiction. So we hear about drug addiction and alcohol addiction, sex addiction, but I want to talk about social media addiction, specifically Instagram addiction, because I think I got that. I'm suffering from yeah, I've been noticing lately that my Instagram usage is out of control. It's just out of control. I don't know how many hours per day I spend on that app, just watching reel after reel. I think it helps me to. I'm sorry, by the way, I live with my family and then they're always talking in the background, making noise, so if you feel disturbed by this, just apologies in advance. I have kids in the house. Anyway, yes, addiction. So I have a really bad Instagram addiction. I'm thinking about going on a break, but it's hard because I love Instagram. I love it. I think I really should be cutting down on how much time I spend on that app. I just didn't realize that I could actually face this kind of problem. I'm rambling. That's the problem when you don't script stuff and then you just want to talk. And I have ADHD, by the way, and my thoughts wander a lot. They're just going off in all kinds of different directions. It takes a while for me to organize them. Let's move on to another one of my books. I think I'm going to talk about another one of my books. Which one should I pick? I was thinking about Deviant. Yeah, Deviant is a taboo MMF romance. It was released in December 2021, so that was 4 years ago. It's definitely emphasis on the taboo, by the way, for this book. It's for taboo lovers. It's about siblings, brother and a sister, who end up being trapped on a deserted island, and then they develop an attraction for each other, which leads to them falling in love. I have trouble sleeping, and it's 10 p.m. and I'm drinking coffee. This is madness. I just haven't had a lot of caffeine today, and I was craving it. I was really craving it, so just me and my coffee here. This, by the way, is a prime example of how a person with ADHD lives his daily life, the way he thinks, the way he speaks. Most of the time, this is how it is for me. I'm just going off on tangent about everything else. I started with talking about addiction, and then I started talking about my books, and now I'm talking about this fucking coffee. I just hope you're entertained. or amused, curious, whatever. So deviant, yes. I realize that the energy today, the energy that I'm bringing to this recording, is a bit off. It's not the same as it was when I recorded episode 1. I acknowledge that sometimes it's like that. I just had a very stressful week. Been dealing with adult things. Sucks to be an adult sometimes, where you have to handle a lot of things on your own, a lot of problems, whatever comes up. I'm very independent, and then if something goes wrong, I usually will not ask anybody for help, even if it's something that's overwhelming me. I will not reach out for help. It's very hard for me to do that, so I just take on all the load on myself. And yeah, that's what this week has been like. It's been very stressful for me. Probably that's why my energy is off today. So, Deviant, taboo MMF romance. It's about two siblings and their shared boyfriend. It contains themes of codependency, survival, forced proximity. If you enjoy taboo romances, then you will probably like this book. But if you don't enjoy it, if it's not something that you read, but you like my writing, then maybe you could try it out, keeping the content warnings in mind, because it's the sort of story where you just want to turn the pages to find out what's going to happen next, what is going on. You just want to know, right? Sometimes the point of writing a story is not for enjoyment purposes. Although fiction should entertain you, you should be enjoying a book when you're reading it. If you're not enjoying, then that's a problem. You should put it down. But I think sometimes certain types of literature, it's there to provoke feelings of anticipation, tension, curiosity, and then it's good to just try it out instead of writing it off, because it's not the sort of thing that you usually go for. So Deviant is available on Amazon, Kindle Unlimited. Deviant by Z.S. Storm. Just to clarify, that's the author name that I use for my books. Most of my books, I would say I use that name, but there's some books I have which are under another pen name. As far as my writing is concerned, okay, this is like subtopic number 6 for this episode now. Funny. As far as my writing is concerned, by the way, if you are a reader of mine, you're wondering what I'm working on, when I'm going to release my next book. Look, it's been 5 years of publishing for me, and it gets tiring sometimes. It gets tiring. I'm the sort of person who likes to try different things in life. My creative outlets, they are not focused on just one thing. For example, if I enjoy writing books, it doesn't mean that the only way I know how to be creative is through writing. I like to try different stuff. I got into music for a while this year, and that was great, because I started to learn composing, and I wrote a couple of songs. I really enjoy singing, so that was a form of creative expression for me, which really helped, because for about a year now, over a year, I have not. It's just been hard to look at my books. I went through something very difficult a year ago, and it cost me so much. It impacted me so badly that it literally hurt me to look at my books. I couldn't look at my books because it hurt, let alone sit down and write a whole story. Did manage to release one novella, I think around April or May, but that was necessary. I needed to get that out of my system. It was a form of catharsis. But apart from that, I haven't really been working on any books. Lately though, I noticed that I've been writing purely for personal reasons. I'm not thinking about publishing anything. I'm not thinking about writing for a specific audience. I just started writing because I missed it, And then I realized that it's starting to feel safe again. For a long time, writing did not feel safe for me. It just did not feel like a source of comfort anymore. Every time I sat down, I looked at my laptop, I just felt like running away. I just wanted to get up and run away. I couldn't stand the silence. But it's changing now. That is slowly changing. I'm improving on it. Wow, how many things have I talked off already? This is really nice coffee. I just wanted to add this one thing. It's my personal opinion. I think when you are in this kind of profession, like being a writer, you get a lot of admiration for this, which becomes sort of addictive. And then you start to measure your worth, your value, according to the job that you're doing, or how productive you are being as an author. And then it starts to feel, at a certain point, it started to feel like if I didn't write books, if I didn't keep my readers engaged by producing more and more stories, then I wouldn't be relevant anymore. I would lose my value. And then later I realized that that is so stupid, because I don't want to measure my value as a person through my work. Work is a good part of life. It's a good part of my life, but it's not all that I am. I don't want people to look at me and think he's relevant because he's a writer, because he's always publishing such amazing stories. That's why he's relevant. That's why he deserves admiration or praise. And I just hate that, because there's more to me than just being a writer. There's so many things, and I want to try all of it. I want to live for myself. I don't want to please the crowd all the time. My nephew is just he's enjoying something. I think he's watching. He's my buddy. I really like this guy. My nephew. He's one of my best friends. The thing with the way my brain works, it's like when I'm trying to focus on something, when I'm trying to do something, and then I hear the slightest bit of noise or someone is talking in the background, I lose my focus. It's that easy for me to get distracted, and then I lose my train of thought. I forget what I was talking about. Not that I'm complaining. I'm not complaining, because I'm used to the way my brain works, the way my brain functions. I'm very much used to it. I really have no problem with it. It's just it just might seem a bit funny for other people, when they're talking to me and then they see me rambling about stuff. There are some days when I'm so quiet I don't feel like saying anything at all to anybody, and then there are other days where I just can't shut up. I have to keep talking. I just keep talking. That's ADHD for you. The kind of life I live, I don't really expect anybody to understand this, to show me understanding because of this, because of my neurodivergency. I don't expect any special treatment from people. I think it's important to understand yourself, accept yourself, just know that this is the way you are, and just make the most out of it. Instead of sitting there complaining, you just work with whatever you've got. So yeah, this was the podcast episode for today. Oh my god, I'm gonna stop this now. I'm gonna stop this here, and then I'm gonna go back and listen to my ramblings, and then probably I'm still gonna upload this instead of editing things out, because why not? I'm doing this for myself. This is a hobby. I like this. It's like a form of release. It helps me to talk about stuff. And then some people, I've been told that my voice can be comforting at times, so I'm not bragging about it. If you find it comforting, if you find this soothing to listen to, then by all means, please keep listening. And thank you for listening. Good night from Fiji.